chairperson for this evening's Felicitation program, my colleague, Assistant Secretary General of the Nagaland Olympic Association and Deputy Chief de Mission of the Nagaland contingent, Mr. Nicholas Katzer, Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland and President of the Nagaland Olympic Association, Sri Nipyu Rio, Senior Vice President of the Nagaland Olympic Association and colleagues of the Nagaland Olympic Association led by Mr. T. Marin Paul, Honorable Advisor, Youth Resources and Sports, Mr. Zale Nyekha, Honorable Ministers, Advisors, Members of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly, Senior Officers of the State and Central Government led by Chief Secretary, Mr. J. Alam, my colleagues from the various sports associations led by the President and General Secretaries of all the affiliated sports associations of the Nagaland Olympic Association, dear athletes, sportspersons, my friends from the press and media, representatives of civil society, servant of God, State Chaplain, Reverend Yamyak Konyak, and our very, very special guest this evening, friends from the G20 Secretariat who are here to join us this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, at the very outset, I give praise and glory to God Almighty for this wonderful occasion, for this opportunity of fellowship, and a platform to celebrate the energy, the ambition, and the success of the youth of Nagaland. I extend my special appreciation to the Honorable Chief Minister and the State Government for all the support that we've received so far. This evening, we have a galaxy of personalities, ministers, members of the Legislative Assembly, policy makers, policy implementers, and representatives of various sections of society here this evening. It's an indication that Naga society, the present government, and the present political dispensation is extending all-out support to the youth of Nagaland, especially in the field of sports and games. Sport has always been a way of life for the human race. From the earliest times, sport was part of human culture. Walking, running, throwing, jumping, these were all part of human activity. In fact, sport reflects the human way of life. It represents how human beings have evolved since the earliest times. Likewise, here in Nagaland too, sport has been a way of life for all of us. Wrestling and different forms of traditional sport has been deep-rooted in our culture. My ancestors wrestled at every occasion, from the paddy fields, during festivals, to resolve disputes, to bring closer different villages and communities. We always wrestled. It was through sport that Naga people came closer to each other. The legacy of formal sport in Nagaland is also very rich. It was in 1948 that Dr. Dali Meranau led India's first ever football team to the Olympic Games, the London Olympics in 1948. One can imagine the sort of scenarios he would have faced. Till today, he remains an inspirator. He inspires all of us and will continue to inspire generations to come. It took 60 years for Nagaland to produce another Olympian. Arjuna Wardi, Chekrovolu Shuru represented India again in London in the 2012 Olympics in archery. As I said earlier, the Olympic movement reflects the human race and how we have evolved. An example of how human society evolved is the recent Tokyo Olympics, where events like rock climbing, 3x3 basketball, and skateboarding have become full-fledged medal events at the Olympic Games. Even in this instance, our athletes who represented Nagaland in the Northeast Olympics, they represent sport which goes back millennia.
This evening program, Mr. Nidikole Katsa, Most Honorable Chief Minister, respected Sir Nipiu, who is also the President of Nagaland Olympic Association, Sri Abu Metha, the General Secretary of Nagaland Olympic Association, all the office bearers of Nagaland Olympic Association, honorable ministers, advisors and MLAs, senior government officers led by our Chief Secretary, members of G20 present here this evening, the Nagaland Olympic coaches and manager, Nagaland Olympic players and teams, press and media fraternity, and my dear brothers and sisters. At the very outset, let me start by thanking our Honorable Chief Minister Sri Nipiu, who is also the President of Nagaland Olympic Association, for taking this opportunity to felicitate our young enthusiastic athletes who have participated in the 7th Northeast Olympic Games 2022, which occurred from 10th to 16th November with a total of 236 athletes from Nagaland competing amongst 3,000 athletes from 8 northeastern states. Through the guidance and blessings of our President of Nagaland Olympic Association, the vision of sports discipline in Nagaland is excelling at a very fast pace, with all necessary requirements and infrastructures promoted by our Honorable Chief Minister. Nagaland Olympic Association, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, young and raw athletes are being molded to the best ability, which we have seen today with our very own eyes in these Northeast Olympic Games. All credits of this victory goes to our Honorable Chief Minister Sri Nipiu and the office bearers of Nagaland Olympic Associations for the dedication towards the athletes of Nagaland. I want to convey that the association is doing a very good job in identifying the young Naga athletes and nurturing the young athletes to become the state and nation sportspersons one day. Today, I am overwhelmed with joy to extend my warmest congratulations to all the athletes of Nagaland who brought great laurels to the state. Your victory denotes the height we have reached in sports. It is very exciting to watch all your great efforts. I witnessed great and strong competitiveness throughout the competition. This fully demonstrates our Naga athletes' harmonious spirit, and was wonderful to see so many people not only being so positive and cheerful, but also being tremendously proactive. You have put in a strong fighting spirit throughout the competition. As such, I was truly moved by all our Naga athletes. Also, to our Naga athletes who gave their best, but ill-fated they failed to attain any medal. To them, I give my special congratulatory note in saying that your participation in the Olympic Games denotes that amongst many other athletes, you have the sheer will and determination to represent our state. You have provided your best performance, and for that I have high hope and faith in you that in the near future you will indulge yourselves in improving more than the present self and to bring laurels to the stage along with other athletes.
Nagaland Olympic Association extend my warmest congratulations to all the medal winners and my deepest appreciations to all the participants, though some could not get the medals. My appreciation also goes to the sports associations and the supporting officials, the coaches, and all the supporting staffs. Indeed, we are humbled. As I used to tell in some of our meetings, that Nagaland was for a long time an insurgency state. Until now, it is known as a disturbed state. And having Armed Forces Special Power Act, and though the Naga political issue, the groups are under ceasefire, negotiation for the last 26 years, settlement has not reached us. Therefore, this had impacted our society very badly in our governance, in developmental activities, and our youth. You are aware, after 41 years of statehood, our statehood was 1963, and Nagaland State, we got affiliation with Indian Olympic Association after 41 years, only in 2004. And that's how, even the field of sports, we're lagging behind. But I have hope in our youth. I have no doubt about the talent, the natural talent, the abilities, the athlete fitting the structure. And therefore, having hope in you, when I took government in 2003, after careful study, we had declared 2004, 2005, 2 years consecutive as a year of the youth, to give empowerment to the youth in the field of music and arts and in the sports arenas. And besides that, we had gone to do training and skilling of our youth to get jobs in the market. Today, I'm humbled and I'm extremely happy. The support team I have in my cabinet and my elected members, and in the Nagaland Olympic Association, very active sports personnel who are handling the association affairs and looking after individuals and also different sports disciplines. I want to congratulate my colleagues in the government as legislators and cabinet colleagues. Also, my team in the Nagaland Olympic Association. It is your efforts that has made our youth could come to get a medal. And therefore, tonight, we have this felicitation program of the medalists of second Northeast Olympic Games 2022. You have seen the talent, and in the last, as mentioned, in the first Northeast Olympic Games, we won only 40 medals. In the second Games, we had doubled it, 79, one short of double. This shows to us that if we have the infrastructure and if we give the support, give the right platform to our youth, they will achieve, they will excel, and they will bring laurel to our state, to themselves, and the youth will follow the right path. I'm also proud that our Northeastern state is trusting us, handing over the flag to us to host the Northeast Olympic Games in the next Games. So, with all humility, we have accepted the flag, and now it is for us to start, not to rest on our laurels, but this should be a beginning to the higher level. So your victory, your winning, is a big challenge for all of us. And I'm sure each sports person will be thinking that you will not only represent the Northeast, but you will represent national games. I remembered when we got affiliated in 2004 and we participated in the national games in 2007. We won 11 medals, and the Indian Olympic Association President Kamaldi has mentioned that Nagaland for the first time participating and getting 11 medals, including gold. He had made a mention in his speech, and it is challenging us. He is having hope in us. That's how he had thrown the challenge to us. Therefore, the Nagaland Olympic Association had already decided to bid for national games. I also made mention, we can bid for national games, but my worry is whether we have the potential of winning medals. Because being a host, and if you don't get medals, that hinders and will bring shame. That's why this is a good beginning for us to start winning from the Northeast Olympic Games and then getting prepared to go to the national games. So I'm extremely happy, particularly those coaches who came from outside to coach our sports persons and also the disciplines, different disciplines. Sports Association had taken keen interest and helped our athletes and our sports persons and all the in games and bringing laurel to us. For our performance, it is not the end, it is the beginning, as I stated. So now, first we have to invest in our infrastructures, and we should be able to make a national and international standard arenas. They play fields. And so that you'll have equal opportunity. And in this, Nagaland government, you are aware, is taking up all the infrastructures with the help of Khelo India and also investing from our own states. I did not mention all this. And I'm extremely happy that, as mentioned, our Nagaland Olympic Association office, the facilities, the system we had placed, after thorough verifications of ISOs, they have given us a certification which is a national, international standard. And I think there are few state Olympic associations having these facilities. So this is to encourage the young sports persons and also the sports associations, and government and the Nagaland Olympic Association will extend all possible help. And therefore, in these infrastructures and game development initiatives, we are taking it very seriously, and government will be always behind you. As mentioned, when we last met and sent off for your participation, we had given commitments for which we had fulfilled this evening, a cash prize to the medal winners. In future, you should do better, and I hope it has taken as a challenge for you to do better. And in the slide, the short video clip, many of the athletes also had given their commitment and thinking and dreaming about becoming not only a Nagaland representative, but play in the national and even represent our country. Tonight, we are having a long program, and this will be followed by a few cultural and music, and therefore I don't want to waste your time, but you coming together as a sports men and women, you had passed many days together in trainings, in the games village, and so you may be longing to go back home. So take our best wishes to your families and tell them the story about your journey in the sports and how government is supporting you, and even in future we have a vision for you and for the state, the youth. So I'm sure in the days to come you'll bring more and more laurels and bring us good names, so that though our state is lagging behind in many things because of many factors, this should be the beginning. And the sports, you are aware that the sports is one of the shortest route to fame, famous and riches. As we know that today games and sports is not a things of the past, like a pastime or a hobby, but it is serious business involving millions of dollars. So be one of the achiever, excel, bring glory to yourself and to our state. Thank you and God bless you.
Nagaland TV, Sob Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapu viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.